and Pulse Esports as the red team. What are we expecting? We can see Olaf and Mumu Kale quick back and forth bans. These guys have played each other once today already.
And it just tells you that they've done their research. Anytime picks and bans go fast, it means they're playing sort of a one-person strategy. They're playing, yep, we're going to pick these champions, we're going to ban these champions. You know, the fact that they're actually waiting means like, wait, Kale ban, hold on. Right? Like, this actually tells me that Pulse suddenly has something to think about because something unexpected just showed up in their faces.
Yeah, and they're thinking, if they're banning Kale out, what are they doing? They've banned Kha'Zix, so that's a reactionary ban to the first game that they had against the Brunch Club. Oh, how are they going to reply to that one? And immediately you can see discussion. Boom, they turned straight away. It's like, damn, it took away my Kha'Zix.
Exactly. That they knew that some of these bans had to be prepared, and some of them they had to be ready for. I remember listening back with IPL 5 Fnatic against WE, and they were like debating like the list of champions, like, hey, Rengar and Diana, you know, like they're listing all the like the really important champions. Like, shoot, we're gonna run out of bans. Can we bait them to ban Diana against us or Evelyn against us? Okay, that gives us one more ban that we can deal with. And they're like doing the math on which ones they can kill, which ones they think the other team is going to ban against them, and they go through these like big logistical hurdles of what they can get rid of and what they can keep.
And the logistical hurdle says Shen, because that's pretty much a standard.
Shen is interesting because he used to be super standard, and then he like stopped being banned, and then he started being played again, and then people realized that they used to ban him, and they started banning him again, and he's kind of like gone back and forth despite like 70 nerf, and they're like, you know what? Yeah, we're just going to get rid of him, and there you go, the instant lock on Evelyn. They baited out the Kassadin ban, and Eve is theirs.
So they obviously just played, Chupa just played Kassadin. I don't think it played that big a deal in the last game, but they felt it was warranted a ban.
It was probably the best performing champion on that team. Again, I really think they could have done more to pressure out the mid lane there with Lauda Mortis on Malphite, but realistically, I mean, we saw Salty basically single-handedly carry Epic through the online qualifiers by just blind picking Kassadin into everything. You saw him beat Pantheon heads up, Valkyrin's Pantheon, and it just wasn't even a big deal for him. So Kassadin is one of those guys who really can just make mid-game a terror.
So Ezreal and Karthus selected, and it's looking like Lauda Mortis this time he's going to go with the Cho'Gath. St. Vicious took it away last time, and I guess he wants it.
It's been a highly contested jungler here. Honestly, Cho'Gath does so much for a team. He shuts down area of effect teams pretty well because it's a 3-second silence, and if you're trying to land big ultimates on top of like a Mumu or on top of Sona Crescendo, and you delay their timing by 3 seconds, your team's out of there in time. You're pretty much okay. You can rupture from about 1,000 range out, especially counting, you know, the radius of the rupture itself. So you can pop up Misfortune ultimates. You can break all kinds of stuff away.
Speaking of Rengar, it could well get selected. This would be the first Rengar of the tournament I recall I've seen.
Soraka, no, it's an entirely different sort of setup. I don't remember seeing Soraka here yet either.
No,
but
we could get some flash bananas.
Yeah, flash bananas are very, very good. I've seen skill montages of like 1,000 range banana tosses and, and Soraka picking up kills. But this gives me pause because I'm now trying to think about what kind of composition this runs for. You don't normally rush for a support that early, at least not one of the highly contested ones. So this tells me Brunch Club has something very particular planned.
Well, I mean, the magic shred that could come out from Soraka will definitely benefit Evelyn. That's for sure.
True. It just stacks up so slowly though, and Evelyn opens up the ultimate.
Yeah.
I don't see that being normal here. The Jarvan, that's pretty normal actually. Onion Bagel has been playing that a lot in the jungle. Would not be surprised to see that lock in.
So it's going to be Taric, Ez bottom lane. It's going to be Karthus in the mid lane versus, we're guessing it's going to be Evelyn mid lane. They could switch it though.
Yeah, you could Cho'Gath top and Evelyn jungle. That is a possibility. I mean, heck, you could really run mid Soraka and play something like Dignitas did at IPL 4, where you just play like Protect the Carry and Soraka, and you just like have 3 supports. I don't really see that being likely, but there is the Twitch pickup. So Soraka Twitch is basically the most defensive lane you could get to let Twitch get to late game.
So we saw Twitch earlier on today. I think it was first game of the day actually. It may have even been.
It was GGU against. It was their final match, I thought.
Final match, third game. Yep.
Yeah.
Third game of the day, final match, and of course it worked very well. It was a very successful Twitch. So final pick from LEB. It is going to be a Zed by the looks of it. So could well be a Zed top lane.
Yeah, that's going to be Nick Wu for the second time in a row on Zed top. He did a very good job on that matchup. He had the one misstep against Voyboy's Elise. Very early on. Yeah, he went in at level 4, and it was just not a fight he could win, and he kind of snowballed himself out of the lane there. But other than that, he had a really good performance.
Well, we're going to see a couple of flicks between. Could well be a Nidalee versus a Zed, keeping that distance away. Let's see whether that one finally gets selected. They're going to switch it across.
Thing is, there are very few good matchups against Zed. One of them I would probably consider to be Malphite here. The difficulty is that, again, he's based on energy, and he will land a WE combo. That will hit you, and then from that slow, he'll just throw a shuriken at you. And so you're going to take physical damage poke every 20 seconds without a sort of cumulative loss in resources. He'll get the energy back, and so you need to be someone who can withstand damage every 20 seconds. Malphite, this guy who can do that.
Malphite just waiting to get locked in. They're discussing it. Finally deciding to switch it to Rise.
So
I guess he'd be happy. He's in the building.
Yeah, this is interesting, though, because it's a double AP composition in a very weird situation. We've occasionally seen side lane Karthus played by like Taipei Assassins. They lane swap the 2-on-1 to mid lane. I've also have seen jungle Karthus before. I'm gonna reserve judgment, but like this is a very awkward lineup.
This is all. I mean,
so I'm pretty sure they're baiting it and they'll swap at the last second.
Yes.
It's gonna be my guess. But I mean, Karthus versus Zed is gonna suck as a lane.
Yeah, Karthus versus Zed would be horrible. Jungle Karthus works. I've seen a couple of players doing it. I've seen Snoopy doing it as well recently. But
if you have a trick up your sleeve, now's the time. You are a game from elimination and a game from making it onto the quarterfinals. This is the most important match these guys have been playing. And again, you know, these guys are going to have to switch up runes and mastery at the last second. If they do a last-second champion swap, it's still looking like Karthus jungle. I'm going to keep looking at my screen. There it is. It is Karthus top lane and Jarvan in the jungle. Good luck with that matchup, man. I'm expecting lane swaps because Karthus Zed is not a good matchup.
Karthus Zed is horrendous, but you could have Rise on that top lane. That's definitely could work. I mean,
that's true.
If he comes in for the damage, Rune Prison, I'm off.
And they are running teleport on that Karthus player. He does know he's going to run teleport there, so he's going to be kind of all around the map, really trying to contribute to his team. And so if he gets shoved out, he can always teleport back in. He can kind of show up to the side lanes to gank. And you're right, you did call out that Rise could just be up in the top lane instead, trying to shut down Zed. That's a little bit easier of a matchup.
So if you have just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, you can see the two teams on your screens. It is the Brunch Club versus Pulse, and it is the North American. It is Group 3 of the day, the third group. Curse Gaming already through. They have successfully qualified through to day 2. Not to Season 3 just yet, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get carried away. This is the final group, though, of course. The final game of the group. We have another group to come. There's a big group as well. The final group of the day is super, super close. I really don't know how to call that one. We could also see our first team from online going through here. Pulse? Could they make it? Could they make it through? Brunch Club coming through, of course, from, I think it was one of the MLG tournaments, the Brunch Club? Or was it the IPL one?
Brunch Club was MLG, yes.
Brunch Club was MLG. We just went in for a keyboard problem to be fixed for one of the teams, so bear with us. I know you're staring at our beautiful faces right now. Yeah, you do have to suffer that one. But this is the Season 3 North American Qualifiers. If you've just joined in, we are going to be playing the Season 3 Qualifiers, Season 3 matches, starting the 7th of February. It is going to be Thursday and Friday here in Los Angeles. All the teams will be present in the studio every single week.
Yep. 2
match days per week. And then Saturday and Sunday in Europe. European qualifiers will be coming in 2 weeks' time. And that is going to be a fantastic experience as well. And that's a really stacked as well, the EU tournament as well.
Oh, man.
Both of these tournaments have just been incredibly stacked, honestly. But I'd really like to see one of these online ladder teams making it through.
There's a good chance here. Pulse is a very, very good team. This was one of the hardest groups for me to call. We're like, okay, everyone kind of expected Curse for first, and they got it, but it was like, the rest of these guys really all have a shot here. Complexity, apparently, from what I heard, just sort of, they actually seem to have actually cracked under pressure, and they started actually kind of performing worse as the day went on, unfortunately, and kind of never recovered from that very first loss. But you know, Pulse, obviously they started out the day 0-1. They've come back with a win. They're here ready to go. They're 1-1 just like the Brunch Club. And yeah, if they can kind of regain this composure, you're looking now at the Brunch Club, now at Pulse. They don't look too nervous. I don't see jittering hands. I don't see people.
Really.
It is. I mean, it draws the attention away, doesn't it?
It draws. Everything else is black keyboard, black keyboard, black keyboard.
Bright green.
Straight in your face. I mean, the guy's obviously happy with it. But he obviously likes to be noticed.
He does, and that's fine. I would rock a bright green keyboard.
You would rock a bright keyboard.
I would gladly rock a bright green keyboard. That's hard to say. Yes, the close-up on the keyboard.
The greenness is just glowing, emanating.
That looks old, too. It's got, like, those keys up at the top that, like, it's like, I hit the home button and the media button. It's like, I don't think anyone uses those anymore.
I don't think anyone uses them anyway.
No. Well, I mean, I don't know. You probably press it once to make sure it works, and you're like, yeah, I don't like this very much.
Yeah, it's like, and then you accidentally hit it while you're in game. What? Just jumped out of the game while you're mid-fight. It's like,
yeah. Oh. I noticed that he doesn't have his Windows key pried out. Yeah, I actually literally had a hole in my keyboard where I pried out with a nail file, just pried out the Windows key.
I tried to use Snoopy's keyboard when I was at Cologne. I used it for an Arab, and it was just like, what the hell? It's like so many keys have been pried out. It's just like, I'm not going to make sure I'm going to hit this. Everything just removed that wasn't essential.
Caps lock is gone, just removed everything. F keys, nope, don't need those.
Don't need any of that, nope.
It's like a 7-key keyboard. It has attack, QWER, and the 2 summoners.
QWER and shift, yeah. Control, maybe. If you want to, and then space to just focus on yourself. Yeah, that's all you need.
We're up to like 10 keys now. That's not,
yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to type messages when you're in game. Nobody does that.
Especially not Snoopy. All he does is just stare.
Stare at the camera.
Vocabulary not needed. Eyes. He just has O_O for like he just has a face. Someone talking to him, just O.
Oh.
just looking at you. You know what this
means. That's all he needs. Oh. It's just all he has on the keyboard. Anyway, we are completely getting sidetracked here. And I was having a conversation. Snoopy is actually here, so I was having a good chat with him last night. He can't do the stare right now. He can't do the stare. His eyes dry out too quick because he's had his laser surgery.
Yeah. Snoopy has better vision now.
Snoopy has better vision, but he can't stare.
Anyway, make that trade-off. That's like half his brand now.
We're completely getting sidetracked away from the issue. It is the North American qualifiers. If you've just joined us, there's already 5 teams gone through. Here, let's test our memory. Curse have gone through from this group.
Yes.
Day 1 of the tournament. Oh, we are in day 1 of the tournament still. Good Game University also went through. They went through second in the group. First in the group was Team Fear.
Yes.
Testing my memory still a little bit more. Going through to the second group of the day, we had... Damn it, I can remember Dirtnap Gaming and Meat Playground. Yes. So they are the 5 teams that have gone through. Let's just go through them once again. It was right at the start of the day, Team Fear, 2-0 in the group. Second in the group was Good Game University, 1-1, 2-1 technically, isn't it? 2-1 in the group. No problems, they got through. It also means that it's going to be Good Game University versus Dirtnap Gaming, because Dirtnap Gaming topped the group. Second place, Meat Playground, they're going to be placing Team Fear. Curse Gaming now through. Don't know who they're going to be facing because we haven't had that group yet. That's going to carry on today. We are currently at 23 minutes past 8 here, Pacific time in Los Angeles. We've got another full group to go, so we've got at least another 3 games to go. 4 games, technically, because we've got this one to go as well.
Yes.
And everything else will, of course, be streamed. Stream 2 will get back underway. You're watching us probably right now on Stream 2. Stream 2 will get back underway for the other matches of the 4th group of the day as soon as this one finishes.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just going to be even more exciting. All these groups really felt very evenly matched. Even if there was like one heavy favorite or one underdog, you had very close fights the entire way through. You actually mentioned, this might be the first time we see an online qualifier team, one of the ranked ladder qualified teams go through. I mean, we nearly saw that. Good Game University, a pretty close match.
One Trick Pony were very close as well.
Yeah, One Trick Pony was very close.
If they hadn't have pulled out the trick, maybe all the assassins, if they'd have actually stick to their first comp and just stuck to their normal play and normal composition, I think they could have got through, because even Dirtnap Gaming said, we think One Trick will get through. They're a better team than the other opposition of Meat Playground. They were surprised by Meat Playground. I mean,
LeBlanc did go 8-1. She had a very, very good opening to the game. It really snowballed everything out. I mean, to me, that game was more about the lanes that ended up losing. That they had, I think, a couple of really rough lane swaps. LeBlanc got really far behind in minions early on, and then the problem was you'll see most pros will be able to flash Malphite ultimate. And will just kind of disengage. And the unfortunate thing there was he didn't get out. That when X-Hazard came in, he pretty much just one-shot the Caitlyn, knocked up into the air. She flashed at the last second and just like died. Like the corpse had moved, but basically
just died midair. Boom.
Basically died midair and mid-flash. And normally you expect players to dodge max rank Malphite ultimates. We saw Cop do that just in the last game there. I think they probably still would have lost the fight, but you had really a difference in AD carry power. Caitlyn was nowhere near Kog'Maw despite being heads up against him.
And that's just really the difference between someone that sat and played the game for a year straight, and someone that's actually gone to university and graduated.
Sure. I mean, that can absolutely be the situation there, where some of these teams have just taken a lot of time and effort to specifically train. Curse have been pro for close to a year now. Some of the members even more so. Elements playing for CLG for a long time. St. Vish has been around for quite a while as well. And you'll see some players just have a bit more experience overall. And that does just mean a whole heck of a lot, where they've been in almost every single situation. You know, whether it's LeBlanc or not, you've been in those games where like that one assassin was super fed, and you just kind of dig back in your mind, and you're like, I remember that one time we had to deal with like the crazy fed Akali, and you're like, this is a similar situation. It's a jump in and kind of get into range of me. Here's how we fought that. All right, guys, when LeBlanc goes in, we do X. And then you've got the reaction. You're just ready for it.
Everybody is ready.
Exactly. And so having that like wealth of knowledge is super, super important. And being able to sort of stop. And this is actually one of the good things about League, is that there's kind of ups and downs in action. You know, you're in a battle, then there's a respawn time, or you're clearing the jungle, whatever. It gives you time to think and talk with your team and say, here's how we're going to win this fight.
Yeah, and you know, the situations, these guys would have been in all those situations, especially Curse, because they've been dragged through the dredges, through the mire. They've had the highs and lows of League of Legends. They've certainly, you know, to the point where they, I hate to bring it up, they almost won MLG.
Yeah.
The highs, and then the lows of it being taken away from them. The lows of not being through, getting so close against Team Solo Mid, ever so close. Probably the closest any team had got in North America at the time. You know, Team Solo Mid was so far ahead. We're just changing our computer around, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, just to keep you updated. We're not just talking for the sake of talking. We are just trying to wait for this tournament to get underway. It is going to be the Brunch Club versus Pulse. And we talk about this computer being changed around. I mean, there's going to be the Brunch Club versus Pulse, and you can see them right on your screen. Let's just quickly refresh your memories. It has been a while since you saw the picks and bans. For the Brunch Club as the blue team, it is going to be Nick Wu on Zed, Loudamortis on Cho'Gath, Chupa on Evelyn. Get the word out, man. It is going to be Brunch on Twitch U. Yes, that is named after him. LEB on Soraka. For Pulse, which is pLs on the red team, it is going to be Harfus on Karthus. Harfus on Karthus. Looking like he's going to be bottom lane as well, actually. I'm not too sure where he's going to be at the moment. It's going to be Onion Bagel on Jarvan. Kenace, or Kenkith, as he's known. I think he's known in solo queue as Kenace. He's had a number of names. He's got up there all the time. Oh, Harfus might get caught out here. Just going to see whether he does go through. Cho'Gath does manage to catch the Rupture on the Loudamortis. Is going to come around the side there. Is it going to be enough there? The damage coming through. They realize the rest of the team are there. They're going to poke him back and just force him away there. It is going to be finishing off Sneaky Castro on Ezreal and
a pink ward.
Evaniscus on Taric.
Yeah, well, the early vision ward coming out there from the Brunch Club gives them complete control over this golem now, and that's going to make this so difficult for early moves to be made by Pulse, because normally you rely on those defensive wards to spot out the enemy team and say, oh, okay, they're going here, yeah, we're going to gank from there, we'll take this buff, and now they're playing pretty much blind on all their major objectives.
Okay, so looking like the lanes, to me, this looks like it's going to be Karthus bot, Ezreal Taric mid, and I reckon Ryze is going to be top. That's how it looked like it was laying out right at the beginning. Things completely change around, though.
Yeah, they really do want to put Karthus in the lane against the AD carries. Of all the lanes to put him in, it's probably, I mean, considering they need to give Ryze a good lane, they need to give Ezreal Taric a good lane, that's probably the one place they can really put him that has the best chance there for him to have a good job. But actually, I take that back, because he has teleport. They can just send him top whenever they want.
They could just send him top whenever they want. At the moment he's staying down the bottom, they realize now they can all get spotted, pinged down, and they do see them. They realize that there is a pink ward there, although they don't realize it, but they are 5 man in the Baron now, the blue buff.
Yeah, the golem is there. I like the little invasion move. They waited around a very, very long time until they actually got to 155 and said, okay, if they're going for this golem, they're going to be already fighting it. So we basically get a free brush face check by seeing if golem was there or not. And, you know, no one was there, and they got that pretty much for free.
Okay, so take us through the lanes, Freak, because it is going to be Harfus. It is going to be Karthus versus Zed.
So it is going to be Karthus versus Zed. I want to check real quick, first of all, to check his early armor. He's got 51 armor. He went cloth armor, 4 potions, and 1 of each ward. And they gave him the blue buff as well. So he's going to be as set as you possibly can be for that lane. He's going to suffer through that 1 versus 2. Zed's going to make a lot of moves aggressively. Harfus is going to try to farm. We'll see if he can do it.
So Lanamore is picking up the red buff. You also see Onion Bagel has already picked up that red buff. He clears out the wraiths. Let's see where he goes. Evelyn looked like he's going for an invade there. LEB taking 2 tower hits. Could be first blood here. Sneaky Castro tried to go for him. LEB, oh, and he uses the heal. Had Ignite running, just saves himself in there. There's a teleport bottom. It is going to be Karthus. Harfus comes around. Is it going to be enough to finish them off? Now Harfus is having to back away. Brunch is trying to finish him off. He's going to go down. Brunch picks up another. Would you believe it? The teleport backfired.
Oh my gosh, I am just so surprised by how that all went down. But You know, cleanse used by Brunch, getting himself out of those sticky situations. And I thought for sure with Soraka pulling turret aggro, she was in a bad place, but it ended up being
diving bottom.
a bait.
They're diving bottom, level 3. You can see Laudamortis coming up. He's going to take the tower hits now on towards Evaniscus. Does manage to land the dazzle, but the heal comes through, and they will pick up. That's a 3rd kill for Brunch, but the tower's going to get him. But it was just the tower kill. Now LEB, Sneaky Castro should finish off LEB here. Can he get him towards Laudamortis? He's already used Arcane Shift. He cannot chase him down, and he's going to get away.
Yeah, that ended up being not... Wait, was that an execution? It was only 1 kill picked up. He got experience, so it's still, I'm going to say, better for Pulse overall that turret dive happened, but I don't know, man. These guys have been pretty crazy right off the bat.
BF sword.
That is a BF sword on Twitch. That is a Twitch with plus 55 attack damage from just items.
Level 3, 4-minute BF sword. That is dangerous.
That is exceptionally dangerous. I am afraid for everyone right now.
Let's see how that works out. Of course, he's not going to have the hit points, but he doesn't give him monkeys. He's got Soraka there. He's got a ton of damage right there.
Oh, it's going to be brutal, man. Doesn't need a Trinity Force for that one. He's just got way too many items at this point. So suddenly this 2-on-2 is like the easiest lane Brunchu's ever had.
Yeah, so Trooper in the mid lane, meanwhile, against Kinesia. And Evelyn versus Rise. How do you take that one through?
Eve versus Rise, I mean, we saw something very similar last time with Rise against Katarina. It's something that I would completely give to Rise in a typical scenario. The problem is Trooper just seems to be outplaying this one. He's got pretty much double the minion kills, and I mean, he's actually run out of health potions. He's been harassed that much that he's got no more, you know, sustain, but Kennick has not had a lot of farm himself.
So, looking towards the top, Harper's now also 1-0 down. He's left Nick Wu because he teleported away. He's 41-8 CS. This is going horrible for Pulse at the start.
Yeah, that's just a really unfortunate move after unfortunate move. I really thought that teleport Karthus gank would have worked well. Nick Wu just kind of standing on top of him at that turret, and here comes Onion Bagel.
Onion Bagel does come around the side there. Harper's going to try and put the damage down, but look at the mobility of Nick Wu there. Uses the flash as well. Should get slowed down a little bit there, but Harper's already used that wall of pain. Tries to land a couple more, but it's not going to happen. The late waste just not really worrying him.
Yeah, we managed to not get, unfortunately, too much out of that. It was a nice gank attempt. They did burn the flash, so at the very least, Onion Bagel can show back up, and he is.
And he's going to come back around. He's down in that river at the moment, and he is going to come back towards him. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, you can see they're also keeping the push. Onion Bagel backs away. And, well, LEB and Brunch. Already level 5 here. Brunch stealths across and just keeps on the damage, keeps that attack speed going. What the heck are they going to do to deal with this?
Honestly, all they can really do is sit back and try to farm this. Normally when you pick up a Taric, you're trying to play aggressively, but they just don't have that ability right now. They've simply got to say, you know what, you're right, your early lane went better than us, we're going to have to wait. And they can farm, and Ezreal, of all champions, has the best chance of being behind and still getting his gold income. So it's just wait. It's just wait until they can get equal parity with items.
So Brunch currently with the advantage, and well, Brunch literally with the advantage on Twitch. Just going to keep on farming, and well, his last hit him just got made a whole world easier with that big BF sword and the long sword. So he's up to 60 attack damage just off those items alone, isn't he?
Yeah, 141 total is a very, very large number for him.
Very large indeed. We are seeing Kinesis trying to come down, but there is a tri-ward there, yeah, and immediately they do back away from that one. The tri-bush warded out. We are seeing Onion Bagel sitting around here with Harfers in that top lane. Harfers still a long way behind in CS, as is the mid lane actually, so all the lanes currently winning out for the Brunch Club.
And one thing I actually want to point out here is what Brunch Club is doing in the bottom lane is every time they clear out a wave, they go and take double golems there on the spawn and just kind of go back for it over and over. And they'll miss maybe a couple of minion kills in lane while that happens, but you can just see right here another wave is waiting for them. They missed a minion kill, picked up double golems. That is always worth it.
So it's going to be another wave coming through. We do see... What are we expecting actually? I'm thinking Nick Wu, what's he thinking to build against Harfers here? Is he going to get a little bit of magic resist, or is he just going to go straight damage?
He can look for Hex Drinker, honestly. With so much early armor from Halfers, a Brutalizer, it won't win lane for him for free. LEB taking a lot of punishment here, actually.
But he does manage to get a couple of bananas on towards Evaniscus, and it's just not quite a banana anymore, is it?
Well, he's facing a whole. I don't know. I feel like it's still pretty well banana shaped. I think it's
banana shaped, but it's graphically much cleaner and nicer now. So
it's a very pretty banana. It's a celestial banana.
A celestial banana. Okay, that we can work with that one.
Thank you.
We kind of have a 4-man stack, or we did have in that bottom lane. Oh, Harper's in all sorts of trouble. Is going to get away though. No, he's not. The ignite is enough. Nick would just come back in to finish him. I think he'd already killed him. I'm not sure. I think he maybe just pressed the wrong key there, but it was a clean kill.
Yeah, he went to run out of range of turret aggro, and then as soon as he dropped it, pressed W to go back into range, so that if he had to like chase down and throw another shuriken, he could have, but he dropped.
Loudermore is putting down a pink ward there, and looking for maybe any attempt for an early dragon. He tries to get in, diving towards Chupa. Chupa going to get caught out. You can see Trishop Barrage comes across, pounced on by Onion and Bagel. Now they're going to turn towards Loudermore. This could be the turnaround that they need, and it will be. And they pick up 2 kills, and they're going to turn it into a dragon.
And that is Haffers with the teleport showing up. Didn't quite need to, but at the very least he's in range for this. The difficulty is they've lost the top turret. Of course, they have complete numbers control here. Nothing to be dropped there at all. But Nick Wu having a very, very good early game, a lot of farm, and working on a second turret.
Working on that inner turret already. 1 down, 2 to go, and he is in their base. And he's cleaning their waves out very quickly. This is probably the easiest top lane that Nick Wu's had to deal with. I mean, to start with, his lane opponent teleported away completely and then died. Yep. And now he's just like, well, I got free farm.
And that's what really Brunch Club is going to rely on. The difficulty, though, is he's facing very stiff competition. He's fighting against Tarek.
This turret's gone.
Yeah, this turret has taken way too much damage. It's his for free.
Both of them, the top one and the middle. This is going to be the Brunch picking up the mid turret. That's going to be the minions taking that one down. So that's 2 outer turrets already down. That top one is on nothing. Yeah. Nothing at all. So you're going to see Nick Wu just finishing off this one. That's the first inner turret gone down. They have to deal with Nick Wu here.
They really do, and unfortunately, they don't have the tools to deal with it early game. They do have the tools to deal with it mid-late, I really feel, because they've got Tarek and Jarvan on the same team. Once you max Shatter, once you max Demacian Standard, you've got a 56 armor aura on your team. It's a 52 armor aura on your team. That's a very, very large number, and Zed is all physical damage except for his passive, and if everyone has an extra 52 armor, you have really good tools to deal with that kind of situation and survive it.
Well, the huge benefits already that LEB has got here. Oh, Evanesca's trying to catch on towards Loudermore. He wasn't going to sing us a song. He did back away. What I was about to say is LEB, huge advantage. As I say that, Knace just going towards Chupa. Just puts a bunch of damage down to him, and he's going to back away from this one. I'll finally get to my point. He's got 2 GP10s and the sightseeing Sightstone already. That's a big chunk of gold difference right there.
Yeah, he got 3 unshared assists there. So, you know, all that gold that Brunch you got, that got him that free BF sword, half of that gold also went to Soraka. And so it's a very, very large number of gold she got, and the gold pretend's going to keep multiplying.
Oh, and that's going to be just trying to catch off, but Knace is definitely going to get caught out. There he gets dropped. Nick Wu comes in. Nick Wu cleaning up now. 98 CS to 47 compared to that top lane. We didn't think it would be we didn't think it would work out too well for Harfers, but they're going to push on towards the second inner turret. Nobody is reacting right now in Pulse.
No, they've just got complete control over this, man. You see how potent Twitch is being here. Ezreal goes in for damage, but honestly, no one from Brunch Club cares about that. Meanwhile, you know, you're just seeing the pressure they have.
And you can see the pressure coming down now as Brunch tries to flash through, does manage to catch the kill, may even be able to take an Evanescus down. He's trying to get away. He's actually used his flash already. He gets the attack speed, the movement bonus, does catch the slow one into him. One more shot will be enough. There it is. Brunch picks up a double in the bottom lane. The team has come across, and now I feel the next turret is going to fall. It's going to be 5-0 in turrets in a matter of moments.
And this is the Brunch Club we had kind of seen in the first game toward the end there. And the Brunch Club I was kind of hoping to see in that Curse matchup. Just a couple of mistakes made by them, though. But here, I mean, they are just making moves constantly.
They are absolutely wrecking apart Pulse here. And Pulse are going to have to react. They're going to have to do something quick because they've lost 2 inners 12.5 minutes into this game. Right now, SK Gaming must be watching this and laughing because we're like, we have been in this situation.
Yeah, it was people just diving for kills behind their turret at tail of the lane. It was a pretty brutal situation. Haffers up 1v1 against Chupa.
Oh, wow. That is not a 1v1 you want to be in right now. Level 9 versus level 8, but Chupa is far more fed than Haffers, and Haffers just gets destroyed there. His Requiem is available, but it's completely pointless to use.
Yeah, there's no one remotely low enough for the damage. You might as well save that cooldown. He's not even level 11 yet, so he doesn't have much of a short cooldown.
And he hasn't been able to get farm. That's kind of the thing that Karthus needs. He needs to get that farm early on, that snowball to get going, to get that help, the support from the Requiums to start picking the kills up, but he's not been able to do any of it. He's 0-3-1 right now.
Exactly. He's got kind of an unfortunate build too. It's just like it's this amalgamation of weird like small items there. The early cloth armor I get, but he rushed Tear of the Goddess and then added more mana regeneration with the Doran's Ring, and then like Amplifying Tome doesn't build into really any core like early Karthus items. Early Rod of Ages, okay, but I mean, is it Haunting Guys? Like, I don't know what the Amplifying Tome is supposed to get.
I mean, the difference right now is enormous. Looking just across the board, look at Twitch. He's got the Bloodthirsty, he's got a Zeal, you've got the Shard already on LEB. Huge differences in these items.
The ability for ganks now, you can just easily follow up. Anyone who dumps in, you know, Nick Wu can just kind of initiate into melee range. Shard of True Rice puts onto him, and he's going to slow everyone around him for 4 seconds. Like, good luck dealing with that, man.
Yeah, and I just saw... Okay, he's got the Brutalizer in there. I thought for a minute, I thought, did he just have the Iceborne Gauntlets already? I thought, no way. But I think he was just seriously a proc. 1 minute to go before the Dragon spawns. They're going to try and dive on towards Laudamortis. They do manage to catch on to him, and they should be able to dump enough damage. No! He flashed out of the ulti, called the entire team out, catches the Rupture across everything. Onion Bagel should get a reset, should be able to get the Demacia standard and be able to dive through. There it is, gets the knocker, but it should just be enough. Is it delaying though? What is it doing? What's happening across the rest of the team? It's like a StarCraft moment. If this is happening right now, what's happening elsewhere on the map?
And Chupa just walks into the brush simply to pop the ultimate and delay some recalls because, once again, TBC, they're pushing down on the bottom side. Sirach actually putting her heals onto minions to keep them alive a little bit longer so that they can keep pushing the turret down without a backdoor.
And there you go, third inner turret. That is exactly what happened. Drew 4 members up to the top, and they just quite happily strolled on in and took the third inner turret. So 6-0 in turrets, total map control for the Brunch Club, and Pulse really up against it here.
This is a very difficult place to be in. They're down about 40%, or they're up about 40% in gold overall. And you know, when you're in this kind of situation as Pulse, you've got to sort of collect yourself and realize, okay, what's our plan? Now, the thankful thing for them is their late game is ludicrously good. Ryze and Karthus pretty much scale infinitely as hard as any like AD carry would in the game overall. And if they can get enough defenses, and again, they should be able to with Onion Bagel and Evaniscus, they can withstand Nick Wu and turn it into just a team fight game and make those happen.
So Halfus desperately farming away, actually clawing back a little bit of farm, I guess you could say. Still 50 behind though. And
but that's not nearly as bad of a situation.
It's not?
I mean, it's
but if
not.
you look at the AD carriers, there's a big situation right there.
Of course, yeah. The Twitch is the hardest one to deal with, but outside of him, it feels generally close overall. Outside of Twitch, now that's a big thing to be ignoring here, but generally speaking, 8-4, it's a 4-kill difference. 4 kills, not that gigantic, right? And that's the kill difference that you're seeing on Twitch specifically.
So Nick Wu completely hit and run, take the red buff, walk away. Chupa though, in that mid lane, he's got a 30 CS advantage over Ryze as well. Oh wow. Sneaky Castro had no chance.
Yeah, and that is just very, very brutal here. And again, if you don't count Twitch, it's close, but Twitch is just the playmaker right now for the Brunch Club. And he just has so much damage, he'll win any fight against any champion on the other team.
So you've got a question, was Twitch banned in Game 1? Who knows? People answers on a postcard or in Leaguepedia, because Leaguepedia do have the picks and bans. Haven't been able to check them right now. And as it stands though, the Brunch Club are in dominant form. 17 minutes gone in this game, 10,000 gold difference already in this match. 9-4 in kills, 6-0 in turrets, and 2-0 in dragons as well. It is all going the Brunch Club's way, and Pulse are just having to turtle up and start retracting into their base.
Okay, so right now, let's see. We've got the Brunch Club, who are obviously in control of the map. They don't have a lot of offensive wards in the jungle, so there's still a little bit of breathing room here for Pulse. Outside of their lanes, they can generally navigate in the fog of war. And if you're Pulse, if they don't keep the pressure onto you, just accept farm, and get yourself to late game status. You will eventually, slowly but surely, catch up to the opposition. It might take a long time, but you're in a do-or-die situation. Do what it takes to win. Get your carries farmed, and you've got 3 of them. Each of them take a lane. eventually you reach late game.
They need to just get Sneaky Castro farming as much as possible. He's 2 complete items away right now from Twitch. Static Shiv completed, and there's another pickaxe picked up, so I guess
Basically,
Last Whisper's going to be coming out soon.
Exactly. Last Whisper very, very soon. He's still got to get the recipe for the Bloodthirster on top of that one. So you are, you're right. It's 2 full items away. Ezreal, again, he's one of the safest AD carries. No matter how rough the other team looks for you, you should always be able to escape when you're Ezreal. And if you can just kind of keep collecting gold, he's got the Bloodthirster finally. He's working towards that Zeal now. He'll eventually become super relevant here.
See the bottom lane's getting pushed, the mid lane's getting pushed, and Brunch Club have slowed it down a little bit. They've slowed down the pace. They're like, okay, we kind of took everything off the map from them. Our only move now is to actually get into their base, and that's not a position they really want to be in right now.
Not so much, no. It's a little bit difficult to push into the enemy base, especially when your team is pretty melee heavy. Both the top and mid laners, and the jungler, but almost all junglers are melee range. So all they have is Brunch, and the difficulty is putting Brunch into range of turret aggro puts him in range of pretty much every initiation tool that Pulse has. Jarvan's initiation range is gigantic, and with Twitch only having 1 tool for disengage, just his flash, the second that is down, Anibego can dunk and they can just follow up.
So here are the Brunch Club. They're going to 4-man stack, and they're going to hope that Karthus continues on with that wave. He does not, so instead they're just going to come around the back. Look at that, they've got the 2 stealths. I mean, this is your solo Q-man's nightmare. Twitch and Evelyn. I could just see people dying on the map.
Yeah, just stealth for days and people are going to get caught out. You actually saw a huge number of pink wards get bought by Pulse overall. They've got an Oracles on Taric right now. They had been spending a fortune on Vision wards trying to spot out these Evelyn ganks. And to their credit, the Brunch Club was also spending a lot themselves, counter-warding constantly. And so they were always looking for where Evelyn might be, where Twitch might be going.
We do already see, of course, Loudon with the Oracle as well. The pink ward's going down. LEB clearing it out. Well, there's another ward just gone back down. Evaniscus, I mean, he's had to throw everything, Evaniscus, out here. Because he's nowhere near got the money that LEB has.
No, not even in the slightest. You look at the actual gold difference, it's 8,900 to 5,600. So about 50% extra gold on one side to the other. LEB getting caught out, though.
LEB has been caught out, and it could well be a kill. LEB gets dropped down there. And that's what the sort of things they need to do. K'Neset does pick up the kill. Meanwhile, Evelyn continues to push the bottom lane, though. But, well, you can see they threw everything at it. That's what they got to do.
Yeah, the ability to end this game, honestly, it realistically is difficult for Brunch Club. And sort of looking at how this game looks, it feels a bit similar to that prior game where the kills were pretty close, but you saw a really big gold lead, and Brunch eventually won it very commandingly. Well, you're seeing a 10,000 gold lead despite only a 4-champion difference.
So, 50 seconds before the dragon is spawned. Blue buff actually being picked up by Nick Wu here. Is he delaying it for anyone? Nope, he's saying that. I'm having that.
Actually, Zed is one of the most energy-dependent energy champions that there are. Really, he's actually can really run himself out of energy very, very quickly because all the energy champions have a mechanic that allows them to regain energy. If you play them properly, they get a lot of their energy back and can keep spamming for a long time. The one that's here for Zed is that he has to hit an ability with both himself and his clone, whether that's Shadow Slash or whether that's Shuriken Toss. He has to land 2 abilities on the same target. That is actually very difficult for a lot of players to do in general, especially in a hectic team fight where your clone is often very far away from you and you're hitting different targets. And so Nick Wu getting blue buff is actually very important to keep his abilities flowing.
Hey, Chad said himself he's a terrible Zed player, and I can believe it because I am awful with Zed. I have not got a clue what I'm doing. I don't even try to. Meanwhile, the Brunch Club are going to pick up the dragon. That will be another stretch for the gold, taking it to another 10k lead, keeping that lead going. As it happens, Pulse were worried, and they do come around, put a couple of wards towards that Baron pit. Chupa, meanwhile, showing himself down the bottom, going to continue pushing that lane. Mid lane's getting pushed, top lane's going to go up and get pushed. And, well, Sneaky Castro has to be careful he doesn't get poked out here. He's picking the golems up at the moment, and you can see, luckily, that ward being taken down, showing it out there. Actually, I thought Static Shift, he started Baron. I was about to see he's going to start the Baron without Static Shift, but they're going to carry it on.
Yeah, they're going to go for this one, actually. This Baron taking a bit of punishment. They did have ward coverage. They know about this, though.
They do know about it. They're going to come across, pop that ward down, try and bait to the account. Ningwu taking a lot of damage actually there. And of course, Evelyn was still down in that bottom lane. So Chupa is now coming up. They're going to try and catch out. Chupa does not want to be the first face coming into this fight.
Nah, but the cool thing here for Pulse is that Haffers has teleport. As long as he doesn't get caught out while doing it, he has the ability to split push and put pressure elsewhere on the map, keep his farm up, maybe even pressure a turret if possible. And as long as he can escape away from whoever's ganking him, he can show up for a 5-on-5 or make it a 5-on-4 if he pulls someone out.
Pings back on Baron. Chupas heads back down towards that bottom lane. They realize that, of course, like you mentioned, that Haffers is there as is Sneaky Castro.
And Ezreal's super far. This is almost, if they actually went all in for this, they'd get it because Ezreal's super far away.
Instead, they're just going to bait it. They do get it. Oh no, Onion Bagel, don't do it. He's going to go straight in towards it. Does manage to avoid the damage. The silence came out just a split second too late. He'd already managed to get around there. Chupas tries to come in and a great dazzle for Evaniscus, and everybody avoided the damage. Beautiful play. Wow,
so there we go. The ward's getting swept out. That's nice for the Brunch Club, and they're actually doing a very good job. Their basic game plan here is to bait the enemy team into them. They're still afraid of a 5-on-5 team fight with Baron fighting them. They're trying to get Pulse to come at them and then peel off a Baron and turn that one around, or get Baron cleanly before they engage.
So you're actually saying they're trying to say, come at me, bro.
They're basically saying, come at me, bro, because they don't want to fight with Baron aggro to them as well. This actually could be dangerous. The Karthus ult's going to hit them super hard here.
Oh, LEB nearly got taken down by the Baron. If he hadn't have landed that wish, that would have been a dead LEB there, and that would have been actually the kill would have gone to Haffers there because that Karthus ultimate had come through the Requiem. Chupa now coming in towards the mid. They realize that Pulse can try and take an advantage here. Have they got a few? Well, they've got 2 minions. It's not really going to be quite enough to try and take this turret down. They have got another conga line coming behind them. They're going to try and push this mid turret.
And that's going to be a pretty good spot for them because they just sent everyone back. You know, they knew that the rest of that team was low on health and they could make the moves in.
And they're going for it. Chupas comes in. Chupas puts himself in danger. Chupas gets jumped on. Onion Bagel flashes straight out there. You can see Brunch. Oh, he got caught. That Onion Bagel, the poison should take him down. Yes, he does. He picks up a double. He carries on through. That's going to be Zed getting on. Nick Wu picks up a double. Then Kanesh flashes through. Does manage to catch him down there. The silence is enough. It doesn't rupture towards the right direction, but Brunch will pick him up. And that's actually an ace. And Brunch, wow, just picked up everything. And that Twitch ultimate, if it wasn't for Onion Bagel's slight ultimate radius, it'd have caught everyone.
Yeah, that was pretty harsh, though. A 5-for-2 is the right kind of fight you want for the Brunch Club. And you get to see Twitch popping his stealth just to get the attack speed buff, and they're going to push on. The inhibitor, at least, is theirs.
That inhibitor turret is
Actually,
definitely theirs.
Turret.
Turret goes down. Ladomornis is tanking it down. They will back away. And, well, that was simply all came from Pulse actually going for the attack.
Yeah, they really caught out Chuper. Chuper, I'm going to guess it was actually a bait because he knew Brunch was nearby. He popped the Evelyn ult, hit pretty much everyone, so he had a gigantic shield. The shield, it's plus 225 health per champion hit. So if he hits 5 guys, it's over 1,100, that shield. And, you know, they eventually burned through it, but that was with all of their cooldowns. And then it was like, great, you're grouped up hitting Evelyn, spray and pray.
Spray and pray straight across them, just like any good CS player. And he just hits the whole team. Chupa, though, is going to clear out the bottom wave again. And, well, they're back to farming, back to the situations. And maybe that's just said, okay, we got an ace, but it wasn't that clean.
It was okay. I mean, honestly, if you're the Brunch Club, you're pretty okay with a fight actually starting out like that, where, yeah, you throw away 2 kills, but a 5-for-2 at any time in the game, even if you give away shutdowns, is completely fine, generally speaking. You're okay to do that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, you'd like a 5-for-0, but 5-for-2 is fine.
So Ladomornis coming around and Pulse. Oh, he catches out Evaniscus. I don't know if you realized it. Wouldn't pop up there and show. Evaniscus will just back away. So, as you can see, the gold advantage, 11,000. And the Brunch Club kind of lacking that killer instincts right now, I feel. They have an enormous advantage, but they don't want to risk it because there's just so much on the line.
It is a really, really risky situation. Honestly, this is the kind of place where they're like, you know what, we're winning the game, we'll just not take risks, we'll win slowly. But we've seen this curse before where teams who don't know how to close out a game tend to let the game get a little bit too close, and they risk one bad team fight turning the game around. I don't know if that's going to be the case here. They're certainly pushing in the inhibitors free.
But the GA now on Brunch, and that means they're going to go a little bit more aggressive, I feel. He's also got the Last Whisper in there. Just about does every bit of damage he could. 9-1-2 Twitch. That's a fearful thing.
It is a very fearful thing. He's capitalized well on those early kills. Sometimes we'll see players, you know, get a free kill or 2 or even 3 early on in the game, and they don't do anything with it. They don't bully the opponents. They don't scale throughout. They're just like, well, I had 600 bonus gold. and they just stay at 600 bonus gold and they don't do anything.
They don't
with
go
it.
back and buy either sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes they don't go back and buy, or they just don't do anything, even if they do buy the item. But Brunch U did both. He backed pretty quickly for the BF sword, and then he did stuff with it. He kind of bullied the entire game.
So as it stands, I mean, Haffers is supposed to be playing the entire game catching up. From that one teleport that backfired on him, where he you know, legitimately could have got kills. He could have been a double kill, could have completely turned it around, but he didn't get it. Meanwhile, you can see, oh, Kinesis is going to go towards Chupa. There comes Onion Bagel. They're going to dive in on towards Chupa. Oh, the True Shot Barrage manages to hit them, but again, they've done exactly like they did before. They just blew everything on Chupa, and now look at Brunch U just blowing apart the entire team. We're going to get the Requiem come out. I'm not too sure whether he's going to pick anyone up. Kinesis is very low. You can see Zed now. Zed closing in on towards Evanescus. Nikwu is going to go in there. He's going to dive through. Kinesis taken down very low as well. Sneaky Castro gets dropped. One more standing. It is going to be Kinesis. One shot, and there it is. That's going to be the double kill for Nikwu. That's going to be the inhibitor, and probably the game.
That is going to do it. The Brunch Club are going to be the 6th team joining the quarterfinals, leaving the group alongside Curse in the 2nd place spot. Amazing job by them. This team fighting was so good.
Fantastic stuff. There's the one turret. Here goes the 2nd Nexus turret. And the Brunch Club can sit back. They can relax. They are through to day 2. Who will they face? That is the question. We'll be able to find that out in a few moments' time, because the 4th group of the day